Hey guys, PokéDan here. I'm sure that at one time, most of us have fantasized about what it would be like if Pokemon existed in our world. Fair to say, a lot of people would set out on a Pokemon journey with a full team of 6, but then you would have some people who would maybe own like one Pokemon and keep it as more of a pet than a battling partner. We've seen this in all the Pokemon games. For example, when you enter a house and you find an NPC with their Pokemon. So of course I started to think myself about what Pokemon I would want to keep as a pet and why. And I thought it would make for a great topic to cover in a video. So today guys, you join me to count down the top 10 Pokemon I would keep as a pet. Of course, this is all in my opinion, and pretty much all of the Pokemon on this list are on here due to them helping me out in one way or another. But yeah, feel free to leave your thoughts down below, and with all that being said, let's get started with the video. So, kicking off this list, quite literally, is Machamp. In the Pokemon games, a lot of NPCs have pre-evolved and, let's face it, probably weak Pokemon, such as Wingull and Minccino. However, if I had a Machamp as my pet Pokemon, fair to say I wouldn't have to be worried about home intruders or burglars. Machamp would pretty much be a bodyguard, and no punk would be able to touch me. As well as this, Machamp has more than just 2 arms, so I'm sure that would come in handy. Okay, bad pun. But yeah, if you wanted to do some shopping and couldn't carry all the bags, then Machamp would be very helpful. This is just one of the many Pokemon on this list that would be a useful pet to keep. Picture this scenario. It's been a long day at work or school. You've had a very stressful day, and you just want to get home and relax. So what better way to chill out than take a seat and put your feet up? And the one Pokemon that would be perfect to rest your feet on would be Absol. After all, it is pretty much the table Pokemon. One negative about this footrest would be that due to Absol's ice typing, your toes might get a bit frosty. But there is a way to overcome this issue. Just wear really comfy socks. If you aren't too crazy about the idea of using an Absol as a footrest, then don't worry because its usefulness just doesn't stop there. Another practical use is that you could eat food off of Absol. I mean, it would probably cool down your hot food, but it would be great for eating cold food off of it, like ice cream. That way it won't melt. If Pokemon existed in our world, then Absol is certainly a Pokemon that I'd keep as a pet. In the words of Logan Paul, everyone needs a hero. God, people are gonna hate me for saying that. And one hero I have that is a Pokemon is Snorlax. Something you guys probably don't know about me is that my sleep schedule is pretty much all over the place. I mean, I'm scripting this video at 5 in the morning, so that just says everything. But if I had a Snorlax as my pet, it would be my sleeping inspiration. As you guys know, Snorlax sleeps a lot, and maybe if I owned one, it could give me a little help getting to sleep. For example, it could use the move Yawn on me, or I could use this tubby Pokemon as a pillow. However, one negative about having a Snorlax would be that as well as sleeping a lot, it also eats a lot. So I'd have to stack up on a lot of food. But hey, I'm willing to spend lots of money on food, so long as I get a decent night's sleep. In the modern day, many natural disasters take place. Thankfully, I live in the UK, which is an area that rarely gets affected by natural disasters. But one Pokemon I'd like to have as a pet, just in case something did go wrong, is Absol. As you guys may know, Absol is a Pokemon with the ability to sense when a disaster is about to take place. And even though a lot of people fear Absol because they think it brings the disasters, of course we know better. Absol only tries to help. And if I had an Absol as a pet, personally, I would feel pretty safe. The ability to sense when something's about to go wrong would be very helpful to have, and with this Pokemon by my side, I'd feel well looked after. As well as Absol's unique ability to sense disasters, another thing to note is that it's a doggo, and I love dogs, so I'd be more than happy to own an Absol. Chirping its way to the number 6 spot is Crickethoon. If Pokemon existed in our world, personally, I think this would be a great Pokemon to have as a pet. If you ever feel a bit blue and you need to be cheered up, Crickethoon could sing to you. And if your Crickethoon can't sing, then just listen to its godly cry. See, now this would make me feel better. Another thing this Pokemon could help with is advice. Since it has a wonderful mustache itself, Crickethoon could just give you advice on your facial features. For one, I would trust a Crickethoon with this. However, if you're still a bit iffy, then fair enough. But there are a few more things that Crickethoon would be good at. I mean, its hands are pretty much blades, so you could use it for, I don't know, chopping up vegetables. This multi-use Pokemon is a pet that I would like to have. Another Pokemon I think it would be cool to have as a pet is Smeagol. As pretty much everyone knows, this is a Pokemon that likes to paint. And if you're nice to your Smeagol, then I'm pretty sure that it would paint you some great art. With this art, you could keep it, or even sell it and make some cash. I mean, think about it. If Smeagol likes to make art and doesn't mind you selling it for cash, it would pretty much be a win-win situation. However, if you don't choose to sell something that your Pokemon has worked hard on, alternatively, you could keep it and it would look great on display. I feel like Smeagol is a Pokemon that not many people care about, but its use in the real world would be very helpful. As well as that, like Absol, Smeagol is a doggo, and like I said, I love dogs. So I would for sure keep a Smeagol as a pet. In the real world, some people like to keep bees, and in the Pokemon world, there are some Pokemon based on bees. But out of all of them, I'd like to keep Vespa Queen as a pet. Vespa Queen is like the queen bee, and there are hundreds of comb bee that do things for their queen. If I owned the Queen Vespa Queen as a pet, part of owning it would be dealing with all the comb bee that obey it. And I'm sure that with a bit of training, Vespa Queen could get the comb bee to do things for you. Oh crap, I left my wallet at the bank. No worries. Vespa Queen can just send some comb bee to retrieve it. There would be a lot of effort involving owning Vespa Queen as a pet, but you gotta admit, it would be pretty cool to have a bunch of Pokemon do everything for you. Even though this isn't the most selfless reason to own a pet, again, it would be kind of cool. So on this list, we've had a lot of practical Pokemon, but I can't lie, a Pokemon I'd love to have as a pet is Chimchar, because, well, it's pretty cute. As well as it being adorable, Chimchar seems to be a pretty friendly Pokemon, and I'd have a lot of fun playing with it. Being based on a monkey, I imagine that Chimchar would take after their funny behaviour, and that would make for Chimchar being a great pet. Another reason why I'd like to have this Pokemon as a pet is because if you're cold, it could easily warm you up. Of course you could say this for all fire-type Pokemon, but out of all the fire types, I would want Chimchar as a pet the most. I mean, could you imagine just having a pet monkey? You gotta admit, that would be pretty awesome. Swooping in and taking the number 2 spot is the Pokemon Chatot. Chatot is a Pokemon from the Sinnoh region that's well known for basically being the Pokemon version of a parrot. In the anime, Chatot was capable of speaking, and it also looked pretty playful too. When I was younger, as you guys know, I played through the Sinnoh games quite a lot, and Chatot was a Pokemon that I owned. Chatot is capable of learning the move Chatter, and back in the Sinnoh games, if you got Chatot to use this move, then you could pretty much record its in-game cry, and that was something that I always found to be pretty fun. Also, in real life, I own 2 birds called Blue and Smudge, and yeah, I'm a bird person, so if Pokemon existed in our world, I would love to have Chatot as a pet. And finally, coming in at the number 1 spot on this list and the Pokemon I would most want to keep as a pet is Tyrantrum. On this list I've had some cute Pokemon, but who on earth wouldn't want a giant dragon dinosaur as a pet? With this pet you would for sure be the coolest guy in your neighbourhood. I mean, could you imagine going to the shops riding on top of a dinosaur? How awesome would that be? You would be the talk of the town. Yes, there may also be some struggles that would come with owning such an exotic pet, but who cares? You know, I think it would be worth it. You probably expected a Pokemon like Growler for Purloin to take the top spot of this list, but it's fun to be unpredictable now and then. I would want a dinosaur, not a cat. But anyway guys, with all that being said, that pretty much wraps things up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Also, be sure to let me know in the comments what Pokemon you would like to keep as a pet, and why. I'm really looking forward to reading them. But with all that being said, for now, I've been PokéDan, you've been amazing, and I'll see you guys next time.